What's up, everybody? My name is Justin, aka Jaymatrix, and if you are here and new to the channel, go ahead and smash that like button like you're trying to smash a chick at the club that you don't care about. Stop it. We've all done it before. Stop it. Stop it. All right, guys, I'm not going to beat a dead horse, so we're going to dive right into it. My channel will be taking a small little minor shift. It's still going to be trucking related. It's still going to be trucking videos, but now instead of making America move or fueling up America, we're going to keep kitchens cooking. Now, what I mean by that is my new employer as of tomorrow will be with US Foods. I'm so excited. I'm excited because I'm ready for a different shift in my life. So, long story short, little background check on me. Little backstory. I used to work for Oakley Transport for 2.5 years. I was holding food ingredients like grape juice, alcohol, sugar, dextrose, fructose, oil, palm oil, orange juice. You guys name it, I was holding it, right? And I did that for about 2.5 years because I wasn't right. Wasn't heading in the right direction. My finances were out the wazoo. But wasn't making the best decisions, and I just needed to restart and reset my life. So I'm glad that Oakley Transport has given me the opportunity to do that and welcome me. It has been an amazing 2.5 years of employment, and then I had made the ultimate decision to resign accordingly with the best intentions. So I gave them like about a month in advance, and I started holding fuel for Casey's General Stores. So if you guys don't know what Casey's is like a franchise of gas stations, right? They're all over the Midwest. So right now I'm in Iowa, and they're all over the place, right? And I was holding fuel for them for about 3 months, and I just quit. The schedule was dog shit. My schedule was from 4:30 p.m. to 4:30 a.m. from Tuesday to Saturday, and that schedule was balls. That was ass. ASS ass. Quotation mark. The schedule was ass. So I had no life at all. And it's funny because when I was working for Oakley Transport, I had more time off than I did at working for Casey's local. So at Oakley Transport, I was Midwest Regional, and I had more time in the Midwest Regional / like OTR than I ever did at Casey's General Stores holding fuel, right? It was just, the schedule was rough. It's not that I couldn't do it. I no longer wanted to do it, right? And, in the past year or so, my priorities have completely changed. I met someone, I built my girl for about 14 months right now. I'm looking into the future. Eventually, I would love to become a genuine husband and a loving father. And, that schedule, I didn't want to do it, And plus, the freaking asshole boss of mine, my old boss at Casey's, he failed to mention, okay, the probability of you getting a morning shift is kind of slim to none, because usually the guys that have that morning shift on fuel holding, they're not gonna let that go. They're gonna die in that position. They don't want to go over the road. They don't want to go regional. They found a local trucking gig holding fuel, and it's all day shift, and they still got the rest of the day. So guys that usually have that morning day shift for fuel holding, they're not gonna give it up, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. But just, it sucks to know that if you work overnight or if you work on the night shift, the probability of you getting a morning shift is slim to none, because guys usually hold on to that position and they just die with that position. It is what it is. But so I lasted about 3 months with them, and then I was just, and there was some other things too that kind of bugged me. Like when I needed some help or support, I didn't really get it. And I didn't want to make a mistake, because once you make a mistake in fuel, it's expensive. It is expensive. So before I even pressed the button or did anything or pressed that handle, I made sure I knew what I was doing. And if I had a question, I would just stop everything, because a phone call is free and mistakes cost money. And I wasn't going to be the new kid on the block costing the company $100,000 because I couldn't make a quick phone call to have my question answered. You know what I'm saying? So that's not who I am. So, yeah, but it's funny because on my last day at Casey's too, I was already applying to US Foods. So I'm glad they called me back. I'm super excited. I'm going in here with a new mindset, new attitude, like, I'm here to work, grind, let's make this money, and I can still kind of go about my day. But I will say, working for Casey's has genuinely made me appreciate my work-life balance, because I never really had a work-life balance until I wanted one. Now let me explain. I used to always I used to always chase the money, go, 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 no matter what schedule. And I got burnt out. It's exhausting when you're just running, running, running. And you feel like the days are passing you by. You feel like life is just swooshing by you, you know. And I'm one that I'm very active. I'm an extrovert. I'm not an introvert. Even though I could be, you know, it's not really who I am, you know. But I'm very active. I like to go to the gym. I go to, you know, the MMA fight gym, the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and kickboxing here in my local town. And, you know, like I'm very active. So with Casey's, I wasn't doing that. Now, a quick little compare and contrast with US Foods. I like the fact that they'll be offering me $31 an hour from the jump, from the start, even at training pay. I'm getting paid $31 an hour. I get paid weekly. At Casey's, I was getting paid bi-weekly. Sucks ass. I don't know how people could do it, but I don't like waiting for the next week to receive a full paycheck. Like, no, like I worked the week, give my money. You know what I'm saying? So at $31 an hour, US Foods is offering me. They get paid. They pay their employees weekly. I get day one benefits because at Casey's I had to work 90 days to even to get benefits. So off the rip, I'm getting day one benefits as of tomorrow, which I can't wait. God forbid if I get sick. Um, and it's a morning shift, right? So I didn't want to have I didn't want to get into trucking, like back into trucking, knowing that I wasn't going to have a life, right? I went from OTR/Midwest Regional, not having no life, grinding it out, to getting to where I am today as a man, as a person. And, you know, I didn't want to do that no more, right? It's exhausting to like not have a life, let alone not have a life at Casey's where I'm barely seeing my chick in passing and I see my chick every 2 days. And you know, I have no life. I can't go to the gym. I have an hour to myself. My sleep schedule is out of whack. Again, it's not that I couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it anymore. You know, and again, I have big dreams of becoming a husband and a father. And the last thing I want to do is have an opposite schedule for my woman. You know, it's not happening. So it made me appreciate to kind of prioritize better, you know. So I'm actually glad that I'm going into US Foods. They're offering me, you know, like I said before, 31 an hour, weekly pay, morning shift. I think my start time is from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. and whenever I finish, you know, so I can finish in 10 hours, 12 hours, I'm not sure. We will see when I'm on the road. You know, we will see when I'm actually on there, but I'm actually going here with a huge high hopes. You know, they genuinely like me. Well, at least they say they like me. You know, I don't know if they're just blowing smoke up my ass, but you know, they seem like they got their shit together. They're very organized, and from what I've seen, again, it could be a total mess, but I'm trying to be a little bit optimistic here because my last job was kind of it was heartbreaking. You know, I mean, I don't like to quit jobs. You know, plus to get started with the new employer, it takes anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. So like minimum. So it's not just, oh, you know, you go ahead and speak to a manager. Here's your resume. Oh, Justin, we like you. Yeah, wait, where can you start? No, like it takes for a truck driver like 3 to 4 weeks because you have to run your background check. They got to do your physical. They have to send you a query for you to accept for the FMCSA clearinghouse to make sure you have no what is it to make sure you have no alcohol or drug violations, and the background check takes the longest. So it's other than the initial interview and the road test, you got to do a background check which takes like 3 weeks more or less, you know, and then you got to do a full physical. And then and you also get a new DOT med certification card that you have to certify with your local DMV. So if you guys don't know it, some states do it online. I know in Florida you can update your new med cert once you pass the physical portion of it. But here in Iowa, you have to go down to your local DMV, which I don't know why, you know, why they haven't kind of kept up with the times, but it is what it is. Um you know, so it takes anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks for an average truck. I'm sorry, for a truck driver to get started with basically a new company. So I'm already going crazy here at the house. I'm bored. Like I've already worked out. I'm going to jujitsu here later. You know, I just try to keep busy, but I'm bored. Like I need to get back to work. You know, so you know it being at Casey's, even though it was a rough schedule, you know, it just wasn't for me. Again, it wasn't bad if I had a day shift. Maybe I'd still be there, you know, but that schedule was rough, and it forced my mindset to kind of think elsewhere. Like I'm not happy here. I'm just bored of the job, and I have no work-life balance. So it forced me to prioritize, you know, what I really want in life, you know, and eventually you know, like I said prior, I would like to become a husband and a father. And, you know, I didn't want that miserable schedule. Plus I'm very active and I just want to I want to go to the gym. I want to spend time with my woman and I want to have a life outside of work. You know, that's pretty much it. But I like the fact that, you know, again with US Foods, 31 an hour, weekly pay. My start time is from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. around there, and I finish whenever I finish, so I can still go do my thing throughout the day. and still sleep next to my woman at night, and I get day one benefits. So those are just some of the really good pros that I didn't have at Casey that I will be having at US Foods. So again, I'm entering a new mindset. I'm super excited. I have high hopes for the company. I can't wait to start sweating, working, start slanging and banging those cases. You know what I'm saying? Building rapport with people. That's one thing I also miss too, is talking to people. You know, I genuinely miss talking to people. You know, building those connections, building those rapport with people that you go into. You know, stops where you might see like once or twice a week, or you might see every day, depending on um how often you deliver there. But I miss it. You know, I miss it. It definitely does alleviate the stress of being somewhat alone, but you're also social. You know, and I'm very social and I'm very easy to get along with. And you know, I want to go into US Foods knowing that I want to be able to take care of the people that I'm delivering to. You know, I want to take care of the chef. You know, I want them to know me, you know, by name. I want to know them on a first name basis. I want to build that trust with them, you know, and I hope that I could just dominate in this field. You know, I'm already a good truck driver. I have like over 500,000 miles of verifiable experience. I've been driving for over 5 years professionally. And, you know, I just know I have a ton of experience, but I want to be able to also use that experience and also engage with people at the same time. You know, I want to be engaging. I want to just, you know how it is. Just the whole local run. So, yeah. Oh, also too, I got this new clamp that I can't wait to use. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead and follow me. I have a bunch of videos on my 360 camera, which records at 360. So I was thinking about the hand trucks, right? And I was thinking, all right, like I'm always thinking about a way, like how can I improve the channel? How can I get different angles, different viewpoints? So what I was thinking was with this little claw mount over here, because my camera goes right over here, just screws on here. So it's like it's sticking up over here, and then I can mount this wherever I want, typically like on a surface. So what I was thinking was on the hand truck, because it's circular, I could just kind of bite down on it and then just let the camera record. So not only you guys can see me actually work and see the inside of the truck, but I can also maneuver the camera lens, you know, forward, back, up, down, all over the place. And you guys can see me like going down the ramp, go up the ramp while the camera is still mounted to the hand truck. And I can't wait. You know, I've got a bunch of ideas that I want to go ahead and implement on the channel. I definitely want to diversify my channel too. I'm trying to do some more lives. I've just been super busy. Um, and yeah, I just wanted to kind of make sure that everything worked out with US Foods before I kind of upload this channel and give you guys the heads up. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. You know, I'm entering this US Foods with a positive mindset, strong will. You know, I try to take care of myself because I know that this is a physically demanding job, you know, and I just can't wait. You know, I mean, I try to take care of myself as best I can. But you know, I know that it's gonna be some hard days, some hard work. But I'm definitely looking forward to the challenge. I need something new because I'm done with this these job hopping. It's a lot. It's a lot. But if you guys haven't already, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. We are done for the channel for today. I'm going to end it here. It was a pleasure. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys have any kind of questions or comments or concerns, go ahead and write me on TikTok and my Instagram. I'll link it right now. And yeah, no, like, thank you guys for listening. It was a pleasure. Again, I try not to do, I try to do very little editing when I'm vlogging because I want my videos to be raw, authentic, you know, and just real. You know, I'm not trying to sell you guys a dream over here. I'm a regular blue collar man, and I take great pride in trucking. It just so happens that the truck industry is not, it's not what it used to be, but it doesn't mean that we can't make it better, right? So I just try to do my part, and you know, when my new employer has given me some hope, I'm excited because then I can also have a life outside of work, right? But guys, it was a pleasure. Thank you guys so much. If you guys keep on, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because I have a bunch of videos, a bunch of shorts that I want to do in my upcoming videos and a little bit of ideas so that we're going to implement. So the channel will be taking a small shift, but I'm excited because, you know, we're growing. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here. It was a pleasure. If you guys have already, go ahead and subscribe. Add me on TikTok. Add me on Instagram. I'm here for you. I am your guide, your resource, or we just want to just engage. Go ahead. All right, guys, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much. Peace.